There she is. All right, Ariana and I are on our way into town to take care of some stuff. We are walking mostly because the car's not working, but also it's nice to get out and walk every once in a while. So I'm gonna make a quick video today about the most common mistake that people make when doing a ketogenic diet for fat loss. This is it's probably the most common error and the most common misconception that people have on keto for fat loss. And when clients come to me, this is by far the number one thing that's been preventing them from getting the fat loss that they desire. And this is thinking that the most important thing about a ketogenic diet for fat loss is eating 80% fat in your diet. So there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of conflicting information out there on the internet, in case you haven't noticed. The information age has created a new Tower of Babel, Tower of blah, 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 blah on the internet. And it confuses a lot of people. There's a big difference between a ketogenic diet for fat loss and a ketogenic diet for epileptic children, which is where the 80% fat number comes from. So in the 1920s, the ketogenic diet was discovered. So it wasn't really discovered, it was just named after it was discovered that it treats refractory epilepsy in children very efficiently. Now these children need to eat very high levels of fat, not because it's the high levels of fat that are going to stop their seizures and get them into ketosis. You can get into ketosis, you can get into ketosis without eating any fat at all. Ketosis is a mechanism that is there for us when we're starving. Starvation. That's the easiest way to enter into ketosis, is you just don't eat for a few days. But kids who are still growing, you've got a 5-year-old kid, and that kid's got epilepsy, drug-resistant epilepsy, that no drugs are working for them. The ketogenic diet's a very powerful mechanism, but these kids are growing. So eating a restrictive diet like that can be difficult for these kids. You want to get a lot of calories in, and 80% fat is what's required for these children on a medical ketogenic diet. But if you're looking for fat loss, if you weigh 280 pounds, you want to drop 100 pounds in the next couple years, you're changing your life, reducing your stress, getting your circadian rhythms lined up, and basically reforming your baseline habits for a healthy lifestyle, then a ketogenic diet may not necessarily look like 80% fat. Now, Ariana, what's up, Ari? Yeah, let me get Ariana some water and then I'll finish. So for a diet, when you're looking for fat loss, that 80% fat, like you're calorically expending, your energy expenditure is going to be coming from fat. That's your main source of fuel. But not all that's going to be dietary fat. If you put in 300 grams of fat into your body, how do you expect to be able to burn body fat? If you're giving yourself an exogenous energy source, even if you're doing like exogenous ketones, is another big mistake. People think that taking these ketones, which are very well marketed, these ketone products, they think that's going to make them lose fat. While it will help blunt hunger, you're giving yourself an exogenous source of fuel. So you're putting fuel into your body. You want to burn the fuel that your body has stored. Now, of course, in the beginning of a ketogenic diet, I usually recommend eating near or slightly below maintenance calories. So that would mean that in the very beginning, for the first couple weeks, you're probably going to have higher fat than you're going to have long term for losing body fat. So when you're formulating a ketogenic diet, first of all, you want to make sure you get sufficient protein. Got lots of videos on that, talk about that many times. We've got an article on how to find your optimal protein intake for a ketogenic diet on our website, primaledgehealth.com. First of all, you want to get sufficient protein, and fat is what you manipulate in order to manipulate your body. So if you want to lose body fat, you're going to have less fat on your plate. If you want to burn the fat off the belly, you're not going to be eating so much fat on the plate. But if you don't want to burn body fat, if you're at maintenance calories, if you're an athlete doing a ketogenic diet, if you're somebody who's already lean as you want to be, then you do want to eat more fat. So it's all about context, folks. Now, That is the most common mistake I see. People tell me, Tristan, I want coaching. I'm not losing body fat anymore. I started a keto diet a month or two ago and I lost body fat and I don't understand what's happening. I'm eating 80% fat. These people have been led to believe that somehow energy balance doesn't matter, that, you know, calories somehow don't count on a ketogenic diet, but they do. Energy balance always matters. If you want to burn body fat, you got to eat less fat. And I'm not saying starve yourself, but you got to eat less. So, if you're trying to lose body fat, you don't need to be eating fat bombs. That's another thing that goes along with this 80% fat dogma that confuses a lot of people. They think that throwing fat bombs down the hatch, which is just, I mean, it sounds so gross, right? Fat bombs. Let's cross the street here, Ariana. Fat bombs. Not exactly, doesn't sound very appetizing to me. It actually sounds kind of gross. And I love eating fat. I love eating a high fat diet. I do eat high fat because I don't have a lot of body fat that I want to burn. But if you're losing body fat, if you're looking to lose body fat, fat bombs aren't going to help you, especially if you're not even hungry. So if your hunger is already low and your satiety's high, which is one of the great benefits of keto, you just don't want to eat. The food's delicious, it's satisfying, it's satiating, and you're able to tap into body fat consistently and you don't get hungry all the time. So you don't need fat bombs if you're not hungry and you're trying to lose body fat. Stop eating fat unnecessarily if your goal is to burn body fat. That's all for today. I think a lot of the recipes that are online can be confusing to people. One second. What's up, Ari?
Can you carry it down there?
Sure, bring it over here. I'll carry the bike.
Okay.
I think it can be confusing to people. Thanks, babe. It can be pretty confusing when people are looking at all these recipes and they look up ketogenic recipes and some of the number one results are like fat bombs. They're looking at like 50 grams of fat in a single serving. If you're trying to lose body fat, if you got 300 pounds of, if you're carrying around 300 pounds and you want to drop 100 or 150 pounds, you don't need those fat bombs, especially if you're not hungry. So, I mean, I got clients that come to me all the time and they're trying to lose body fat, they're overweight, and they're forcing the fat in because they think that's what's going to make them lose body fat, eating more fat. It's a little bit misleading. I don't know. There's a lot of conflicting information out there, but I'm here to try to clear the air and try to provide you guys with what I believe is the truth, with the best information out there. So, fat bombs aren't going to help you if you're not hungry. You don't need to eat them. Yeah. So, I've got a loud truck passing here. I'll pause. So, if you're looking for fat loss friendly recipes, it can sometimes, another car, stinky cars. Alright, so fat loss friendly recipes can be few and far between if you're doing the Google search, searching in the Googles. If you're looking for fat loss friendly recipes, check out my wife's book, Ariana's lovely mother's book, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook. All the recipes have macros and they're all fat loss friendly. We're not trying to get you to eat 50 grams of fat in a serving all the time if you don't need it. And of course, in the book, we give you instructions on how to adjust the recipes to fit your macros. So, find some fat loss friendly recipes. Don't eat fat if you don't need to eat the fat. And you will be on better track than you were before, forcing down fat bombs when you're not even hungry. So, if you want more information, check out primaledgehealth.com. Highly recommend you check out my wife's cookbook, Jessica's The Ketogenic Edge Cookbook. It's more than just a cookbook. We call it a training manual for low-carb, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. There's a lot of sections in there training you how to be a master chef in the kitchen, how to own your keto kitchen. She worked for over a year on this book, and if you can't tell, I'm very, very excited that it's finally out. So thanks to everybody who's been enjoying the book, leaving positive comments and reviews on it. Yeah, you can find it. It's only available at primaledgehealth.com. It's available in ebook format, and we're just really happy to finally be able to share it with you guys. So check out the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook for fat loss friendly macros. All the recipes got macros, and it'll be really helpful. You can find more at primaledgehealth.com. We'll see you next time. You want to say bye, Ariana?
Bye.
I don't even know if you could see her. Bye.